Our visions, our feelings, our ideal realities, our happiness and tranquility do not solely exist in our dreams or behind our eyelids. They are arriving to this room right now. Our happiness and tranquility do not solely exist in our dreams. We dream and soon we see our visions vibrantly. We feel our liberty fully. We are these blessings imbued, our prayers answered. So let us see our dreams as they're becoming. Let us welcome and welcome them. And to do this, I encourage you to speak with me. I welcome blank. You can write it in the chat. I welcome.
Stir in ginger, molasses, and add. The secret ingredient was our fragile history. We weren't allowed to write it down on paper, back when our family secrets were innocent, thick and white, needing both muscle and patience to stir, working hard to make something blissfully light. Sprinkle brown sugar, put it in the oven, and lick the remaining batter. That was the last required step, licking the sweet, yellow, heavenly goop. In an hour's time, the creed transformed to glowing stones in our bellies. Meanwhile, Aunt B and Regina gossip in the kitchen about grown folks' things. Aunt Cece quizzes her brilliant daughter on multiplication tables, and I sit by Grandpa's side on the piano bench. He attempts to teach me the first 4 chords of Swan Lake, but the rows of identical black and white keys confuse me. With a permanent marker, Grandpa writes out the letters on the stark white keys, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. His oak upright piano forever marked so I can play. When I'm older and someone asks me about love, I'll think back to this gesture, the beautiful piano scars and the peaceful aroma of ginger snap cookies.
Given to in-laws that would doubt her contribution, claiming tainting and devaluing of caste pride, constantly looked down upon, constantly striving for acceptance, forced to learn the new ways of a family who had more than she ever did as to denounce her own poverty-stricken shame. So when I asked her, what are your life dreams? She had no answer. No conception of a dream without responsibility, without expectation, without reins. Rain would come and fall, but she never learned what control felt like. So when I asked her, what are your life dreams? Immediately, she wished for her family to be taken care of, to not have to worry if her children could afford rent that month. I tried to construct a fantasy in which all of those responsibilities were no longer hers to bear. That there was no religious constraint on her ability, that she could do anything in the world, that her illiteracy would be non-existent, and anything she could imagine would be possible again. Ba, what are your life dreams?
When the stars did not gleam and the darks of us were being, there was Yolot learning to pace across black oceans. She held dirt in her palm and light in her mouth. She asked the ungleaming stars to walk with her, and they walked with her, mouthing her lips to see if they could understand the light she carried. And they followed her back and forth across the massiveness of the darks. They felt her rhythm reaching over to her. They put their cheeks on the curve of her waist, felt her bump as she moved with them, and they moved with her, warming their cheeks, warming their throats. Finally, she stopped. She let them collide into her, the light in her mouth spilled, they having their lips wide open swallowed, and they began to gleam. So excited were they that they ran across the universes to find the others, and they began to make curves like her waist. Rounding the curves, they learned to make the moons, and they taught the moons how to move like Yolot moved. And Yolot rubbed her earth all over her body, and she scattered herself, making mothers upon mothers, each and every one containing her rhythms. And she, Yolot, let herself be, as it all danced with her. And she danced, making drums of their skins, and she looked at herself in them, and saw their skins gleam like the dark oceans and the stars.
Adjust your eyes. I said adjust your mind. In Hindi, the word for yesterday and tomorrow is the same. So what does that tell us about the colonization of time? Community is pre and post colony, so going there is more like going back, and looking back is more like looking forward. You exist as a seed. Seeds are life, seeds are love, so you are love. Is it dark in here? Or is it just that freedom is blackness? Is the North Star bright, or is it just that liberation is darkness? In hindsight, we don't see with our eyes anyway, so adjust your heart. This new life bursting from the scars we've been covering, and no white man will be innocent. Long live the soul of Nia Wilson. And when there is nothing left but darkness, will you be able to live with all the silence? Because sometimes we just need to be quiet. Just be quiet. Adjust your eyes. I said adjust your mind. I mean adjust your heart. I mean adjust the paradigm. We are the darkness and we are the light.